us dive into the topic of navigating relationships in life. So, to start us off, what do you think are some of the biggest challenges people face in their relationships, whether it's at work or in their family life?
So right now, as I have worked with people and as I talk to my friends, family members around me, and I see, so, for parents like me, they really go through um, a time struggle that they want to spend quality time with your kids. At the same time, they want to focus on their career. And also, they want to have a good relationship with their partner, their family members. Again, at the same time, they want to be useful in the community, have a good social standing. And like a person is really split in managing time and relationships around all these areas. And that basically spills off in sometimes spoiling some relationships, getting used or using some people. Like these are kind of it. And people just don't know, everybody's so busy. So they don't know who to trust and how to talk. And in this time of social media, so it's so easy to get misinformation, miscommunication, being misunderstood. And really, everybody's so busy. So basically, one thing is time, willing to spend quality time with the loved ones, and still not being there, not being good enough because social media makes us feel that there's so much you can still do and you're not doing. That's one thing. Then there is a certain age group that is in the older range where the kids have grown up and now they are free to do whatever they want, but they had so busy lives, struggling, earning, going for after money, and probably they haven't saved enough, they haven't planned the retirement properly, now they're under stress. So what should I do? And their relationship with their kids are strained because all these years were spent just running after something, and now they are here and they see that something does not actually exist. We are still running after something, and now at this age they are not left with enough strength, enough ideas and creativity to um, go further. Now they are confused, they are lost, they are looking for something more fulfilling, more real. Then there's a group of people who are managing their careers. They are literally running every day to succeed, to be that number one, and to show off, to not to show off, but to, you know, give what they have best to their workplace, to the world, so that they can earn more money, more recognition, more social standing in different ways. And really, people work very hard through it. But when they reach there, somehow in their hearts, they still feel maybe, was it really this what I wanted? Because it doesn't give them that kind of fulfillment. So basically, these are relationship challenges outward as well. And more of it is the root is inside. First thing that people are struggling every day is time. Really, they don't have enough time for anybody, even the time for themselves. So therefore, I have designed tools that take very little time. And in that little time, they just touch the root cause. Any relationship that you go through, a relationship would have communication issues. A relationship would have understanding issues. There would be jealousy. There would be competition, silent competition. You wouldn't even know you're competing with someone. And what I have felt is that people in relationships, when they compete or they do unhealthy actions, they are usually not aware about it, that they are doing. It is because they have so much to do. And what happens, and the reality is, from the perspective that I work on, which is at the soul level, we look at the soul of the relationship. So this might be new for some people. Each and every relationship has a soul. So it's not that the person who is not behaving well or is not listening to you or is not understanding you or is behaving in a wrong way, but it is the soul of the relationship that needs nourishment, that needs attention, that is sick in some ways, that needs healing. So the tools that I offer is to heal the relationship soul. So how a new concept for many. So we connect with the soul of the relationship and we offer nourishment, love, forgiveness, and heal that soul. And when the soul is healed, it is healthy. The relationship becomes smoother. There is more understanding and less stress.
Do that. So let's start with the first one I think listeners might have, which is if someone's brand new to this idea, what's one simple thing they can do to start connecting with the soul of a relationship or just to begin that healing process?
That's so interesting. Such a good conversation. So, here I would like to talk about these two books uh, that I'm sharing on my screen. One is Greatest Love and Greatest Forgiveness. And these books talk about how we can connect with the soul of relationship, which is actually very simple. How to connect with soul is just to call them. So, for example, if I'm working with the soul of my relationship with my child, I would say, dear, the soul of my relationship with my child. And here's the connection. And then I would say, I love you. I would offer my love to that relationship because I know there is something that needs nourishment here. And then I would say, we have some blockages. Let us work through this. Like we just talk to the soul of a relationship, like it's a real person before us, and with greatest love and compassion. And that's how we connect with the soul.
They might start seeing a difference. Once they start talking to the soul of a relationship, offering love and healing, they might wonder when they can expect to notice changes. So that might be a nice thing to touch on next.
That is a great question to come up. How quickly? It depends how sick the soul is and how much nourishment it needs. How much attention have you given to the soul of this relationship? Sometimes we have ignored a relationship for so long that it really needs more time to nourish and get well. It's like it's imagine you are sick and sometimes it's just a cold or flu and few days and you can feel better. But then when you have some bigger condition, it takes longer to heal. So it depends on where you are in that relationship and you can heal it sooner. Now, example that I would like to share uh, that is shared with by someone that I know. So they live in like a place where there are multiple parking spots, and they used to park their car in a place which was empty, like that's the spot that was assigned the to someone who had not yet moved in that home, so it was empty. So they were just parking there. And now when this new person, the person came in who had that parking spot, they had to move to their original assigned spot. And when they moved there, somebody was already parking there. And that's fine. When it was empty, they parked there. And when they parked there, the person who was already using that spot didn't like it and they raised the wipers and something like that. And then they had to go, there was a conflict here in this situation. So as you can see, the soul of this relationship is not okay, right? And this went on, and there were some people involved, there were phone calls, and something was going on. And so when I came across this issue, I decided to do something at soul level. So I just said, dear, the soul of all the relationships involved in this issue, the parking issue, I love you. Let us come and heal and transform whatever are the blockages, or say, I don't know if I have introduced the word blockages, but it is the unhealthy component of these relationships involved here. And so, and I did a practice mentioned in this book, Greatest Forgiveness book, for I think 5 to 10, I guess 5 to 7 minutes. And then I forgot about it. And the next day, I received the information that one of the person is like, okay, I have been given this spot, and I think this is much better. We can see our car from our home. This is more convenient. It was a very calm tone, not a lot of resistance or fighting. And I was like, okay, maybe something that we did worked. And the next day, the day after that, that person came with the update that the other person has removed the car and we have our original assigned parking spot. There was no conversation. I don't know what happened behind the scenes, but the souls of these relationships that were involved was healed, and that's why the issue was resolved.
One more thing they might be curious about is how they can incorporate this into their everyday routine. Maybe just a practical tip on how to make it a habit so that it fits into their day and feels really doable. So we can touch on that next.
That is a great question. So, if you want to really incorporate this into your daily life, you can go through one of these books. There are many techniques in this about relationships. One is greatest love, and one is greatest forgiveness. It talks about practical techniques that you can use. If you want to experience these practical techniques, join me on Monday. We have a complimentary session and we talk about connecting to the universal field. And if you have any questions on our relationships, this is like a generic session. Just experience this soul level wisdom. May not be focused on relationships, but you can ask your question. It's a very small group and it's a very warm and intimate. Like it's a very small group. So feel free to come and ask your questions. It's a complimentary session, so you can just experience it yourself. How you can transform any relationship. We can talk about like we are going to talk about greatest love, which is one of the books, and this book has the technique about healing relationships, and we can talk about that. That's one thing you can experience it yourself, and yeah, and then there are other options to connect with me. I offer one-on-one coaching that can take you step by step on how you can transform your relationship. And when we do the coaching, we do like a longer meditation together. And then I give you small recordings that you can use on your own in multiple times of the day to transform any kind of relationship challenge. And also techniques that you can just do it yourself, like scripts, meditation scripts that you can, or affirmation scripts that you can repeat during the day, during a busy day at work. If you have 2, 3, 5 minute break, you can just open up and do the affirmations. So these are very practical techniques that you can use. So feel free to connect with me personally. To see you soon next time with more questions around relationships, what people want to hear, and if we see any comments in when we share this recording, and I would love to hear more from the audience, what they have and what is their experience.